Hey folks, Plastic Eric here, Plastic Soundwave Cult, here for another edition of Collection Connection. Again, it's just an excuse to talk about music. It's a game I play with my brother Bryce over in Good Show Ponsonby. Every Monday, I pick a CD or a record or a tape out of my collection, and I talk about it, and then Bryce will find a connection to that album, to an album in his collection, and on Thursday, he shows a video. And then I repeat the process over again on Monday. And he repeats it again on Thursday, then me on Monday, then him on Thursday, then me on Monday, then him on Thursday. And we've been doing this for a while. And the way we do it is we try to figure out if you can figure out what the connection is. And the last one that Bryce did, unfortunately, nobody got the correct answer. But the connection between Queen's Greatest Hits and ABBA Gold was the fact that both were #1 and #2 best-selling albums of all time in England, or at least compilation albums, I think. And so, yeah, Queen was #1 in England, Greatest Hits, and ABBA Gold is #2. I'm pretty sure that's the order it went in. And so the last album that Bryce showed was ABBA Gold, which I can actually pull up here because that is one that I have. I love this album. I don't really need their albums, their studio output. This right here does it all for me. I love these songs on this album. A little bit of nostalgia because my mom used to listen to them. I do have The Winner Takes It All on a 45 around here somewhere, which I'll tell you about, but I won't show it to you. But yeah, I mean, most of these songs are absolutely incredible. I mean, you got Dancing Queen, Knowing Me, Knowing You, Take a Chance on Me, Mamma Mia, Lay Your Love on Me, Super Trooper, a little bit more than a meh. Winner Takes It All, I do like. Money, 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 SOS, Chiquita, Fernando, they're okay. Probably the roughest song on the whole thing is Thank You for the Music, which I think is the same one that Bryce felt was a little bit too schmaltzy. I do like Cheese. I don't have a problem with it. So I love a lot of the songs on this album. I want to say that Thank You for the Music is kind of the one song that's a bit of a letdown, but I like this album enough to where I've even gotten even more ABBA Gold, which this one doesn't even come close to the first one, which makes me feel like I could probably be okay sticking with ABBA Gold as opposed to start getting all of their albums, even though I do have ABBA the album. It was a band that I really didn't get into when they were really popular. I mean, I thought their songs were okay, but I probably didn't admit that I liked them because, any kid my age didn't like ABBA. They're too adult orientated, not enough fun. But as you get older, I think you realize that ABBA are very good song craftsmen. The songs they put together extremely well. They're not the most complicated songs, but I feel like they definitely give forth a lot of emotion. I mean, you could tell that when they were having their hard times in their relationships, because of course both couples were married to each other at one point, and then they were going through a divorce as the end of ABBA was occurring, or not even before it ended, but they were, I think Agneta and Bjorn got divorced before the end of the whole thing. And so you get a lot of those raw emotions in some of those songs, especially Knowing Me, Knowing You, The Name of the Game. Probably my cheesy favorite on here is Does Your Mother Know? Where it doesn't have the girls on it so much, but more Bjorn, I think, is the guy who sings on it. But yeah, overall, I really, really do enjoy ABBA Gold. Fantastic. I think most of the songs that you see on here end up on Mamma Mia. I can't think of any. I only saw that one time, and the movie. I haven't seen the play. But overall, I I find the album great. I actually probably listen to it about 2 or 3 times a year. Just because, yeah, I want to get a little cheesiness going. And, you know, it's right up there for me. You know, ABBA, The Carpenters, Steely Dan. I like some of the cheesy stuff. You know, you got to have something playing in the background when you're doing housework or something, you know. So, what did I connect that to? And so the album that I connected to ABBA Gold would be the obvious choice, apparently. Green Day, American Idiot. Now, this is an album that I'm not as familiar with on Green Day as their other stuff that they've done. I cannot tell you exactly which songs are which. The fact that it has a black background is not one of the connections, you know, because they're both, you know, have the black. But the connection is outside of these albums, but with these albums. Because, yeah, this one album here is a little bit tougher. Out of all of the Green Day that I have, I probably listened to this one the least, even though it was their big comeback. And I know they had a couple albums. I wouldn't say that they necessarily flopped, but they weren't doing as well as like Dookie in the first couple albums that they did. And then this came along and it just blew up. And the Boulevard of Broken Dreams was a serious classic off of this. Because I don't think that Good Riddance is on here. No, that's on a different album. But yeah, this is basically a rock opera, punk rock opera, punk opera. Sounds like a Mexican dog. It's pretty good. And again, I listened to this later on. I didn't really listen to it a lot when it first came out, but my son got into Green Day quite a bit. And so I listened to it again. And I know Green Day is a little bit of a divisive band. I know older punkers don't consider them punk. Younger punkers consider them punk. These guys kicked off, I think, or helped with kick off the punk resurgence that happened in the early 90s to mid 90s. And of course that was largely Dookie. This came out in 2004, which, holy crap, this thing is 20 years old by now. Can you believe that crap? It seems like just yesterday that it came out. I can't believe that it's that old already. I mean, I get it, you know, Dookie's old, but this is even older. Or not older than Dookie, but is I can't believe it's 20 years old. That's what I'm trying to say. Before I screw that up even more. But yeah, I know the big operatic songs on here that have all the parts in them. I don't know all the individual parts as well. I listened to this last night as I was walking my dog, and there was a lot of it that I remembered, a lot of it that seemed to come back to me. It's probably been at least 10 years since I've actually listened to it. And funnily enough, this became a Broadway show at one point. And so it's interesting to me that, you know, punk was so far on the fringe. And Green Day were able to take it out and not only get it into the mainstream, but even get it on Broadway. It's amazing to me that people would want to go see a punk show. Of course, all the punkers would probably say that they're all posers anyways. Who cares? But, who cares what they think? And so, yeah. The album that I went with this week was Green Day, American Idiot. And with that, hopefully you can figure out